Have you ever noticed how some people seem successful, but deep down something feels off? On the surface, their lives look amazing, but when you get closer, it's all just appearances. So, what's the difference between those who chase quick wins and those who build a life that actually means something? Today, I want to let you in on a secret from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which says that there is a hidden line between superficial success and true greatness, and understanding that line might change everything for you. Hi, I'm Nadeem, and in this channel, we dig deep into books and life lessons that aren't just about quick motivation but about real lasting change. And today is going to be the first of a 4 part video series reviewing the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. But before getting on to the habits, Stephen wants us to know about a few basic concepts in order to better understand the 7 habits. But even if you take these concepts alone, they will still change the way you think and give you valuable insights. So, in this video, we'll talk about character and personality ethics, the power of a paradigm, and the maturity continuum. Have you ever noticed how success in today's world seems like a display? Like scroll through Instagram and you will see people dressed sharply, speaking confidently, and networking at fancy places. And instantly it's easy to think that's what success must look like. So without thinking, we start copying the visible things. The way they dress, the way they talk, and the way they carry themselves, believing that this must be the shortcut to the life we want. But Stephen warns us what we see is often just the surface. The real foundation of success goes much deeper. He says, as my study took me back 200 years of writing about success, I noticed a startling pattern emerging in the context of the literature. The old writings focused on what he calls the character ethic. This was about building life on principles like justice, courage, humility, fidelity, honesty, patience, modesty, and the golden rule. Back then, success meant being the kind of person who naturally inspired trust and respect. If you had character success, then what he calls the primary greatness followed naturally. Means you're primarily a great person. But over time, especially after World War I, something shifted. Success literature and teachings started to focus less on who you actually are and more on how you appear. This is personality ethic, built on image, techniques, social skills, and quick fixes to win people over. It focuses on what Stephen calls the secondary greatness: image, popularity, charisma. But don't get him wrong, personality skills have their place. But here's the danger: when your image comes before integrity, when charisma matters more than character, relationships become manipulative, trust crumbles, and success becomes hollow. And this isn't just history, it's happening now. Too many people chase the visible traits of success without the invisible foundation. They copy someone's speaking style without building the honesty. They mimic confidence without compassion. They appear to be trustworthy without actually being trustworthy. Results? Maybe short term attention, but never lasting respect or fulfillment. Here is why this matters to you. If your foundation is strong, built on character ethic, then your personality tools will amplify your impact in an authentic way. Your primary greatness makes your secondary greatness strong, but without it, everything collapses the moment life tests you, and life will test you. So, if you truly want to build long term success, flip the common approach. Start from outside in. Build your values first. Make trust, humility, and integrity your core. And then let your personality skills sit on top of that rock solid base. And that's how you build results that not only last, but also feel worth having. A paradigm is simply the way you see the world. It's your personal lens, your perspective, your belief about how things work, and how you interpret events. Two people can look at the exact same situation and see something completely different, simply because their paradigms are different. Think of it like this: your paradigm is your mental lens, and if the lens is scratched, foggy, or tilted, then no matter how well you focus, the image is going to be distorted. And here is the big thing: most of us don't even realize that our perspectives might be outdated, incomplete, or plain wrong. We just assume that this is how it is. Stephen shares his personal experience saying, I remember a mini paradigm shift I experienced one Sunday morning on a subway in New York. People were staying quietly, some reading newspapers, some lost in thoughts, some resting with their eyes closed. It was a calm, peaceful sense. Then suddenly a man and his children entered the subway car. The children were so loud and rambunctious that instantly the whole climate changed. The man sat down next to me and closed his eyes, apparently oblivious to the situation. The children were yelling back and forth, throwing things, even grabbing people's papers. It was very disturbing, and yet the man sitting next to me did nothing. It was difficult to not feel irritated. I could not believe that he could be so insensitive as to let his children run wild like that and do nothing about it, taking no responsibility at all. It was easy to see that everyone else on the subway felt irritated too. So finally, with what I felt was unusual patience and restraint, I turned to him and said, "Sir, your children are really disturbing a lot of people. I wonder if you couldn't control them a little more." The man lifted his gaze as if to come to a consciousness of the situation for the first time and said softly, "Oh, you're right. I guess I should do something about it. We just came from the hospital where their mother died about an hour ago. I don't know what to think, and I guess they don't know how to handle it either." Can you imagine what I felt at that moment? My paradigm shifted. I suddenly saw the things differently, and because I saw differently, I thought differently. I felt differently. I behaved differently. My irritation vanished. I didn't have to worry about controlling my attitude or my behavior. My heart was filled with the man's pain. Feeling of sympathy and compassion flowed freely. "Your wife just died? Oh, I'm sorry. Can you tell me about it? What can I do to help?" Everything changed in an instant. Here, nothing in the situation changed. The people, the subway, the noise, the kids. But the moment Stefan learned the truth, saw the other side of the story, his whole perspective shifted. His frustration turned into compassion, and that's the power of a paradigm shift. The facts stay the same, but how you see them changes everything about how you feel and how you respond. So the lesson is, whenever you are dealing with a person, a decision, or a conflict, don't just follow your first reaction or the default perspective you already have. Before you decide, before you judge, try to look at the both sides of the coin and try to hear the other side of story as well. If you are making a career decision, don't just go by what the society says should be done. Try to look at it from different angles and ask deeper questions. In a relationship, don't just assume you know the full picture by just listening to one side of the story. Sometimes the shift you need is not in the world around you, it's in the way you are seeing it. So step back from your old paradigms and try to see the bigger picture, and you will make decisions with more clarity, more empathy, and far better results. Now, the journey of growth that Stephen calls the maturity continuum. We all start from dependence, relying on others for our own needs. And as we grow, we move to independence, means taking responsibility of ourselves, earning our own way, and making our own decisions. But society often stops here and tells us we have made it. But Stephen says that the highest degree of growth and effectiveness lies in interdependence, where two or more people work together to achieve far more than they could ever achieve alone. Stephen says, independence is the paradigm of I. I can do it, I am responsible, I am self reliant, I can choose. Interdependence is the paradigm of we. We can do it, we can cooperate, we can combine our talents and abilities and create something greater together. Dependent people need others to get what they want. Independent people can get what they want through their own efforts. And interdependent people combine their own efforts with the efforts of others to achieve the greatest success. Interdependence is about combining strengths, valuing differences, and multiplying results. In families, friendships, and teams, it's where the deepest connections and the greatest achievements happen. Practicing this means learning collaboration, trust, and shared vision. And the benefit, you move from just surviving by yourself to thriving with others, creating outcomes that last and matter. So remember, build character first, then let your personality amplify it. Shift your paradigm to unlock lasting change. And finally, go beyond independence into the powerful interdependence. And that's it for today. Also, while we cover a lot in our videos, there is still a wealth of knowledge in this book. And I highly recommend you buying a copy of this amazing book for yourself through the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.